me and the boys obviously were doing shows when we just started out supporting acts, which weren't always huge rooms. Now the fact that they are sellout shows and keep getting bigger and madder is just something that we are just loving every second.
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
We have been chatting to just an amazing array of Oxfordshire musicians. It's been an absolute joy hearing some amazing tunes. Some stuff you'll be familiar with, some stuff you won't. You'll discover new stuff, and that's what it's all about. Next up, really glad to have on the show, it's Danny Mellin. Morning, Danny.
All right, Rich, how are we doing?
I'm
okay?
very well, mate. I'm very well. How are you? Let's jump straight in. How are you? You've had a busy year. You're getting busier, and it's going to be busy this year as well.
It is, yeah. No, it's been really good, thanks, man. It's been buzzing off the last tour we did in spring, and since then we've released new music, going on another tour at the end from autumn until the end of winter. Well, I say end of winter, end of the year, so December kind of time. And yeah, it just keeps going up and up. So it's all buzzing around here, all buzzing.
What I love, and you'll see this on the social media video that we release after this, but there's the smile on your face. You can hear it in your voice, but there's the smile on your face. There's still that kind of, there's that enjoyment, there's that passion, there's that love of things snowballing, and like you say, going from playing incredible festivals last year, doing a tour at the start of the year, and kind of going into what's going to be happening across the summer and the back end of the year. You're just loving it.
Yeah, it'd be weird if I was a bit like stoic about it, because yeah, I think since in the last year or so, things have really started to snowball. We've really started to see a huge surge, especially now our fan base has grown a lot, and it's really, really cool to see it. I mean, I'd be a bit weird if people who are now singing all my lyrics back, some of my songs and all that live, and I'd be a bit weird if I was just like, yeah, I expect that. No, it's like the fact it's like I don't never take that sort of thing for granted. And me and the boys obviously were doing shows when we just started out supporting acts, which weren't always huge rooms. Now the fact that they are sellout shows and keep getting bigger and madder is just something that we are just loving every second of. So why not? You know, you've got to enjoy it. So
God, yeah, you do. You absolutely do, and it's great stuff. Just pick out just a few highlights, because you've done some great stuff over the last year. Just pick out just a few highlights of bits that you've done.
So if specifically, I think Truck last year, that was a lot of fun. That was kind of the catalyst for us, kind of a lot of things happening for us. I think that was a real step up for us about what we needed to bring to a live show, in terms of the energy, the audience, everything. And then we played 2 autumn shows last autumn. That was really cool. Played the Bullingdon in Oxford as well as the Leadmill in Sheffield. But I think the real highlight since we last spoke has been doing this tour I did in spring, because it was a real it was our first ever UK headline tour. We've never played in some places we did before, such as London, and to have such a busy just crowds and that. My favourite show was probably the Oxford one though, because it was really nice coming home and all that, to doing the Bullingdon again, and it being absolutely rammed. It was mental, because we'd done it before, and that was good then. Even the time before we played in the Jericho Tavern, but we'd often seen a bit more like familiar faces and that. And this time we did it was just like a sea of brand new faces I'd never seen. We were like, okay, so this is happening now. This is mint. So yeah, I'd say it's a tour more than anything.
It feels so great to, and I sort of want to sort of go back to sort of the band week type thing, but it feels so great to chat to all different types of people. We've chatted to people who have done the circuit for the last 25 years. We've chatted to people who have just got their new single out. We've chatted to people who are, have been in music for absolutely ever. And chatting to someone like you as well, who is just on that kind of, like I say, that snowball effect of kind of going, experiencing things for the first time and going on tour and doing all this and loving it. It's so refreshing and just it's putting a smile on my face as well, which is brilliant. So obviously we tour later on this year. Where can people see you? Kind of, are you doing bits and bobs across the summer? What I found is, weirdly, that summer seems to be a little bit of a lull for people, rather than kind of going out there and performing lots. It feels like it's not a lull, but everyone's kind of going, oh no, we're going to wait until the autumn. Is that a conscious thing for people? I don't know.
Well, I think it's because of festivals and all that. I think a lot, unless you're playing like a load of festivals, which we're doing a few like all day festivals, but we're not going as crazy as we're going to do next year, is what we'll say. But because of the spring and autumn tours, because you don't really want to tour in summer often because a lot of people are away do it at their own thing, you know, wearing some outrageous festival shirts. But yeah, no, yeah. So over summer we're not super going crazy, but from September we play in London, and then we have another tiny little bit of time off, and then the rest of the shows are going to be in November, December, where we play in Sheffield, Bristol, Birmingham, Newcastle, and Glasgow, as well as Paris as well, supporting the Sherlocks, which is going to be awesome, and I can't wait for that.
Oh, what a buzz! What a buzz. That sounds phenomenal. Danny, where can people find out a little bit more about you, your socials, etc., etc.?
So if you want to go to look for tickets or anything like that, you can go to dannymellin.com/shows or dannymellin.com to find general things about me. But I've also got all the social media. So if you just search Danny Mellin, it will come up, depending whether you got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads now. You know,
another one on Threads.
But you know, you can't get away. I'm on all of them now. So yeah, check us out.
Brilliant stuff. Tell us a little bit about the single that we're going to play, Ordinary Day.
So this is Ordinary Day is my new single I released in late May, and it is a song I wrote based off the back of playing live. It was a thing where we started doing His Favourite Sweatshirt live after we were in lockdown for so long, and when we started gigging it again, and slowly, surely the crowd was starting to pick up on the vibe of it, and halfway through there's this huge bit where there's this huge breakdown goes, and everyone started moshing to it, and we were on stage doing, this is cool, we should do a whole song based on this, if that's the energy of just this little bit. So we just kind of got like this somewhat catchy little riff, as we tend to do, and started based on the grittiness of it. We're like, right, this is gonna be really weird if it was a love song, so we've got to think of some other lyrics to it. And when we were playing live, you would often you'd have a lot of time milling about behind stage, so, or when you're loading in gears and, you know, amps and all that into your van at the end of the night, you see a lot of things going on around where you play. We wrote it specifically from when we were doing the Bullingdon last year and seeing kind of like local things. That's why the lyrics like Cowley Girl in it and that. But the actual truth of the song is that from travelling across the entire country, that you do see it does happen everywhere you go, and it just different times of night brings out different types of people. And I just felt quite inspired to write about it, not really from a place of always being exactly in those experiences with them. Sometimes it's often more of like an observational thing with what you see, but it's kind of unsympathizing and just seeing what's going on in life and trying to just not really like make a huge political statement, but just kind of saying, this is what I'm seeing all the time. And yeah, so it's more just kind of looking at like everyday life struggles and that kind of mundanity, universal feeling of just being stuck in a rut a little bit.
No, exactly. The irony of that is, and if anyone knows the Cowley Road as well, it's anything but ordinary, especially late at night after gigs. But we'll move on from that and I'll go from there. Danny, it's been a joy and a pleasure catching up with you, mate. This is Ordinary Day on Get Radio.